Here is exactly how I passed a 50k Topstep funded account in only 2 trades. So if you don't already know me, my name is Neil K Trades. I am a 50k funded trader. I also have a live account that I trade almost every single day. So a little bit about my background. I started trading futures about a year and a half ago. Before that, I used to trade options in the stock market. I got really lucky with GameStop and AMC back in 2021. And from there, I have just continued the journey in becoming a profitable trader. So the way I trade is I trade inversion fair value gaps, and the way I trade them is I wait for a sweep of liquidity, look for an inverse, look for any additional confirmations. I especially like change in state of deliveries or CISDs, and then I'll take a long or short to internal liquidity with take profit 1 set there and take profit 2 set at external liquidity. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I applied a systematic approach to where every trade has a defined target, and that's what got me funded. So just want to show you guys real quick, this is my certificate for a Topstep funded account. I am a funded trader, 50k funded trader for them. So those are a little bit about my credentials. So if you don't already know what Topstep exactly is, it is a prop firm or a proprietary firm that offers you capital that you can trade with and get paid out with. But before you're given that capital, you have to do a couple of tests or quizzes to show that you are a profitable trader, to show that you are worthy of trading on their capital, and through that you can start getting paid. So just taking a look here, I trade a 50k account. You can trade a 100k and a 150k account. So what this actually is this company will give you 50k, 100k, and 150k of their buying power, their capital to trade on, so you don't have to risk it. So the way this works is you're given a maximum loss limit on each account. So when you're going through the preliminary test stage, you are given a profit target of 6% per account, and you have a maximum loss of 4%, and with the profit target of 6%. So the way I trade is I really like 50k accounts. They're plain, they're easy, they're simple. The 6% is only $3,000 to pass. While you are only given 2,000 loss limit, this can be a little hard if you're trying to pass the account within like 3 days. But through my strategy, through my experience, I found a way where I can consistently pass these accounts in 2 trades and get called up to a funded account in the shortest amount of time possible. So the hardest part about passing these accounts is the consistency rule. So if you don't already know, you have to make $3,000, but you can't just make that all in one day. You have to have 2 meaningful days of profits. So the way I do it is I try to split it up for 1,500 one day and 1,500 the next day. So that way I'm not exceeding 50% of my profit per day, and I'm able to pass the account in the shortest amount of time possible, which is 2 days. So my strategy, where I try to pass the account in 2 days, I have to make 1,400 or 1,500 each day, and that way I'm able to pass the account as quickly as possible. So the reason this works is it satisfies the risk management that Topstep require you to have. It respects the consistency rule too. And 3, it keeps psychological pressure low. So this helps avoid any revenge trading. If you lose a trade, that's how you should know you should take that day off, risk less on the next trade. So the way I do it is I'm risking $1,000 per trade, and I'm trying to make $1,500. So I'm trying to have a 1.5 risk to reward ratio. So if I do end up losing that 1,000, I'm going to size down my risk to half that. So I'll be risking 5,000, and I'll be trying to make that 1,000 back. So a 1 to 2 RR. But when I am trying to pass the account, and I have that $2,000 drawdown, I'm risking 1,000 to make 1,500, and I'm doing this 2 days in a row. And I only take quality A+ setups where I see a sweep of liquidity, inversion for value gap, change in state of delivery, and higher time frame bias, showing me that we're moving to the next draw on liquidity and internal liquidity. So enough about the rules. Let me just show you guys real quick an example of a trade that I took where I was able to pass the account. So like I said, I wait for a sweep of liquidity. So we had this daily low sell side get swept, and in that sweep we created this bearish fair value gap. So I waited for a strong inversion with really sharp candles to the upside, indicating that we are going to move higher. I'll wait for a re-entry in that fair value gap. That's where I enter my trade. after the closure of that fair value gap getting disrespected, so inversing. And then I want to see the medium threshold of that inverse fair value gap getting respected highly. So through there, I'll set my break-even level at the very next swing high that was created, or swing low. So in this case, this was this wick. This was about 15 points where I move my stops to break even. This way, if I do lose the trade, I'm getting stopped at break even, so I'm okay with that. So yeah, you let price hit your break even level, move stops to break even, and start targeting the next internal liquidity. So in this case, there was this and external up here. But in this trade, I did manage to get stopped out for only $500 profit. So that's where I had to take another trade, which again, we had the sweepage of liquidity here, this premium wick, took out that liquidity, created an inverse fair value gap. Inversed it, respected the medium threshold extremely well. We only got wicks here, and what I set break even level at that swing high, and I let price print. This was 50 points on the dot, which made me $1,000. So through these two trades, I made 500 on this one, 1,000 on this one. But if you can, I would highly recommend taking those 75-point trades to where you can actually make 1,500. So in this case, you can see price did continue up to this external liquidity up here. That would have been 75 points. That would have been that one trade you need to do for the day, and you'll be done. But you need to make sure you're taking extremely high quality setups. If you don't already know how to trade this model, I would go look at my educational videos where I explain what these are, what I look for. But at the very surface level, wait for liquidity to get swept, wait for a really strong inverse with lots of momentum, enter on the close or the retest of that inverse fair value gap, and set a price target or set your take profit at the internal liquidity levels. So I like trading the 30-second and the 1 minute, and I'll look for all my liquidity zones, all my confluences, and where we're moving on the 5 and 15 minute. So if I'm not getting too many entries on the 1 minute, I'll drop down to the 30-second. That is the lowest I'll go. I do sometimes go on the 15-second, but my profitability on the 30-second and 1 minute is a lot higher, and that's what I'd recommend you guys do when looking for these A+ quality setups. So back to Topstep and their rules. So if you want to pass this account in the shortest amount of time possible, in a week, so I'm showing you how to pass it in 2 days, but if you do end up getting a setback, if you take a loss on the first trade, this is how you can pass it within a week. What you want to do is take one trade per day. If it's a break-even trade, you're allowed to take another, but regardless of what happens in the next trade, you have to end it. So if you have one break-even, one loss, that's it for the day. If you have one break-even, one win, boom, that's it for the day. If you have break-even trades, they don't really count in my opinion. They are essentially just risk-free trades. It's only when you're losing or making money that I would stop the trade. So if you get a loss on the day, that's it. That's your one trade for the day. If you get a win for the day, boom, that's your one trade for the day. Another big point is you want to treat this account like it's a live account. So again, take quality A+ setups. Do not take shitty setups. You will get burnt for that. You don't want to be over trading, and like I said, limit your trade frequency, because these are the habits that are going to create a good trader and good trading discipline that will be carried over when you're on that live account or when you're on that funded account, so you can actually get a payout. Another thing I would do is track these quality setup trades that you're doing. Like I showed you, I have a screenshot of that trade. The way I do this is in Notion. I will be dropping a video on how you can actually start journaling your trades on Notion, to where you can go back, look at your data, look at what worked, look at what didn't, and this will help you become a profitable trader. Overall, let's just recap real quick. Follow the consistency rule. So you cannot make $3,000 on a 50K account in one day. You have to have 2 meaningful days, with both days being 50% of less than your total profit. So if you're gonna have one day 1,500, one day 1,500, you meet that 50% requirement. Secondly, funded accounts reward discipline, not aggression. So limit yourself to 2 to 3 trades per day. Like I said, if you have one break even, one win, you're done. If you have one break even, one loss, you're done. If you have one loss, you're done. If you have one win, you're done. So break evens don't count, but your wins and losses count. So regardless of what happens, that's what we want to do. Thirdly, you want to risk 1,000 per trade and go for 1,500 on that one trade. If you lose, de-risk down to $500 and try to make $1,000 back, so you can make back that loss. If you do ultimately end up blowing the account, say you lose that one trade, you lose 1,000, you de-risk, go for 500, and you de-risk again and go for another 500. If you end up losing that $2,000 drawdown, you're only losing $50, not $2,000. This is why I love funded accounts, because they help you de-risk and help you make more money than you're actually risking. So in the trades you're risking 1,000, but the whole account you only paid $50 for. So you're only risking $50. So the last thing I would recommend you guys do, have at least $200 to $300 ready to go. So to fully pass an account and get to a funded account, you need $200 for at least for a 50K account. So $50 to buy the challenge and a $150 activation fee for the funded account. And then from there, anything you make on the funded account is yours. You have to have 5 winning days of $150 or more, and then you can submit for a payout request. So if you have good discipline, good risk management, this should not be very hard at all. If you're worried about how much money you have in the bank account, if you're worried about, oh, I can't actually pay for the funded account, I can pay for the challenge, but I can't pay for the activation fee, you need to go to work, get a job, start saving up some money so you can actually invest in yourself, invest in these accounts. Overall, thank you guys for watching. If you are interested in learning how I actually trade, my model, what I look for, here, click the top right, click the top right. You'll see my educational series. You'll see everything I show in trading and what I look for, confirmations I look for, and the actual entries. Also, take a look at my trade recaps. I post every single trade I take. I do have a very high win rate. It's currently sitting at above 80%. I lose very little trades, and if I do lose them, it's a break-even trade. And that is because the model that I have learnt, the model that I have found, is very high win rate, very low losing rate. If you don't know who Dodgy's DD is, it is his model. If you don't know who PB Trading, Patrick and Blake are from their PB Trading firm, it is their same model. It is trading inverse fair value gaps. So yes, be sure to look at the educational series. If you guys have more questions on how you can actually pass his accounts, feel free to leave a comment. I will definitely respond back to you. I do have a Discord opening soon. I'm working on it as we speak. That way I can build a little community of people who are really interested in wanting to become profitable. It is going to be completely free. I don't want to make a single dime off of you guys. I do well on my own, so why do I want to charge you guys who are still trying to learn? Because I know when I was in your guys' position, I didn't have anyone to look up to for free. I had to do a lot of the learning on my own, and I had to do a lot of it through YouTube videos that were base level free. I had to do a lot of experience and learning on my own. I had to lose my own money, but if I can expedite this process for you guys, that will make me happy. So Discord is coming soon. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one, and be patient, be humble.